Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2, A Legacy of the Void. Today, it's going to be LØAD and MackWinston here on Ley Lines. It is Mac's most recent Clown Fiesta sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with a subject of patron because he is a patron of mine at the tier 3 level, which gives him the right to send me one replay a month, and I'll cast it on the main channel. Top right, it's going to be LØAD. He's a Red Zerg player. Bottom left, it is a Blue Protoss. It is MackWinston. All right, looking fantastic, looking good here, dude. We got ourselves a probe moving out for MackWinston, scouting as he always does with this probe in this matchup especially. Everything's looking good. No questions at all about MackWinston at this point. Man, I love this track. It's a good one. Hatch first in, and looks like maybe a cannon rush. Yep, forge up from MackWinston here. Not a scouting probe, but a cannon rushing probe here on Ley Lines. Do we see it? No, because this Overlord is scouting down, and this Overlord is checking for proxies, and there is no Overlord over this natural, which just means it is super, super dangerous. It only takes a couple of times to be cannon rushed like this before you put the Overlord over your natural base. So that, you know. Anyway. Here's the play. I just don't know what else to say about this. Getting gas behind it. The proxy gate here. The cannon. Okay, this is where you cancel it. This is where you cancel it, LØAD. Come on. Cancel the hatch. Give up on it. You're not saving it at this point. There's no way. Yes, take a hatch over here, but cancel this one. LØAD, you gotta do it. I need you to cancel it. Okay, he canceled at the very last second. Yeah, when you get the actual final animation of the building there, you still do have time to cancel it. Oh, he's proxying at max natural. Hey! One good turn deserves another. That's what I always say. Says, all right, fine. You want to play the proxy game? I'll proxy on your side of the map as well. I'll take a base up here too. Not at the 3rd base location, not at a 4th base location, but like a 5th base or a 6th base spot here on Ley Line, trying to hide it from MackWinston as much as he can. And then, yeah, this base is coming up. Got to pull a couple more probes. He doesn't have the ability to make... Well, he can make a Zealot just over here, but getting back here and stopping this from finishing, I don't think it's going to happen. He's trying to get a cannon up. Oh, boy. This is Roach Warren from LØAD on the follow. Okay, I like it. Ravagers will take care of these cannons with their Corrosive Bile ability. Double gas coming in from MackWinston off of one base into a Stargate here. So maybe it's going to be a Void Ray. A Void Ray is effective against Roaches. But has he scouted? He hasn't scouted anything in the main base here, so he doesn't know that it's going to be Roaches, but we will see. So we've got 3 probes and a cannon firing on it now, and it's not enough to make it not finish. But maybe it's enough to kill it before a queen can pop out, and he cancels the hatch here. So LØAD right now is on 2 bases. MackWinston does not know that. Mac here is on 1 base. These probes are idle. There we go, getting it back to work. 20 workers on this main base and 65 minerals here. So, we will see. There we go. So 3 Ravagers, 3 Corrosive Bile can take down a cannon. And so it's 1 base to 1 base right now. This base has no economic value at this moment, but it could. So again, just 1 mining base to 1 mining base. Bam! Killing that cannon, not getting a cancel here. And maybe taking down this pylon. Maybe taking down... Oh, in range of the shield battery. Draining the shield battery of its energy. Killing a Zealot here. This Stalker says, okay, so I am no match here for these Ravagers. Dude, 1 hit point on that Photon Cannon. 1. Holy smokes. Corrosive Bile finally taking down that cannon. Their shield batteries are so good, but they are out of energy right now. Oh, the Stalker pops out and is going to be killed because, again, there's no... Okay, nice recharge there for that shield battery. And trying to take down that cannon without losing a Ravager, moving the Wounded Woods back. And And that corrosive by did lose a Ravager here, but there are still 3. And bam. Pylon down, not depowering anything here. This is such an active opening here for this PVZ. So we've got 1 drone here at the second base here from LØAD, so it is a little bit more than 1 base to 1 base in favor of the Zerg player. We've got 2 kills on this Ravager, 3 kills there, 1 kill here. And yeah, continuing to warp in Stalkers. This cannon does not have very many kills. It has 0, and still MackWinston is not expanding. He has 800 minerals. And finally making a Void Ray, making a second Void Ray. Hey. Look at this. Just making a beeline for this base. He did scout it with a Stalker. And cancel your hatch. Oh, man. This is going to be a MackWinston win, isn't it? It's 21 army supply to 12 in favor of the Zerg, but that is misleading here. This Void Ray can kill every single Roach and every single Ravager. And look, no base. No base here either. Taking his natural. And Mac is also now taking his natural base. He said, you're right, Falcon. I did have hundreds of minerals. Let's go ahead and take a base. Void Ray hanging out back home in case the Roaches show up. And this probe is so dead. It doesn't even run. 4 kills on this Ravager. 2 kills and another 4 kills on that Ravager as well. 5 kills now. So again, 29 to 14 army supply, but again, Void Rays are good against Roaches and against Ravagers. They are fast enough and dodgy enough to dodge Corrosive Biles, and that's the only way that these units can hope to kill a Void Ray is Corrosive Bile. So again, second base done here from MackWinston. Second base not done here from our guy LØAD. He says, I know you have Void Rays. So not moving across the map until the Hydralisk Den is done. Where are we hiding it? Right there, underneath this Overlord. And so Hydralisks on the way, speed on the way as well. Void Rays ready to move in, but there are Queens here. There are Hydras here. Queens jumping into this natural base is going to be a really bad time for them, obviously. They come in, they're going to die. I like the Spore at the front. I like the Spore in the mineral line in the main base. I do not like no Spores showing up at the natural. And man, moving out at the same time, the Void Rays move in. But the Queens can handle it. The Hydras can handle it here. Just moving down with Roaches and Ravagers. Just as a scouting mission here, or maybe trying to avoid the eyes of MackWinston. Oh my gosh, burning down the Hydralisk Den with prismatic alignment, transfusing. Oh, excellent use of transfuse. And Void Ray down, having the Void Ray count here and damage output. Excellent job by LØAD. Have a range? Yeah, we have a range there for these Hydras. That was a ranged attack. So here we go. So we're going to go ahead and throw down a third base. Got an observer here in observation mode. And now into Colossus with extended thermal lance against all of this ground army here. Especially useful against Hydralisks and against Ravagers. Observer down, third base on the way. Third base on the way for MackWinston as well, up this left side. And yeah, check me out at patreon.com/Falcon Paladin. For at least $1 a month, you can support me out there. And again, on Patreon, all of your money goes to me, except for 0.0, maybe 0.1% for overhead on Patreon. That is not the case for people who are creators now. but it is being grandfathered in because I've been there since 2015. Evolution Chambers on the way for our Zerg player. We've got a Lurker Den as well. Okay, Lurkers do pretty well against Colossus, especially with Seismic Spines. Twilight Council warping in. We've got +1 armor for the ground here, and I think LØAD needs to scout. I just think he needs to scout. Seeing this third base would be so helpful to LØAD right now, but no, he isn't. He has no vision on the other side of the map. He's just like, okay, so I've got a third base. Boy, I sure hope Mac doesn't have a third base as well. That would be pretty bad for me. And yeah, it definitely 100% would be pretty bad for you. But dude, army value 45 to 39, so not the double the value it was before for the Zerg player. Taking down these rocks. Ooh, rocks going down. Boom, camera movement in, out, left and right. Woo, check it out. Rocks are gone. Incredible camera movement. So if you're going to go Lurkers, you want that Seismic Spines upgrade, which means you want a Hive LØAD. So you want to go for that Infestation Pit, for the Hive, get the range upgrade, get the burrow speed upgrade. The range upgrade is more important in this matchup for sure. Storm's on the way for Mac. He says, why not? Why not have a little bit of Psy Storm on the map? I think that's a fine idea. Charge coming in. He's not skipping anything, man. He's got Colossus. He's got Extended Thermal Lance. He's working on Charge. He's working on Storm. He'll probably make a couple Archons in the mix just for the heck of it. Shane, there you go. Finally scouting out. So he's going to see a probe sitting up here like it wants to expand. He's going to see a couple Zealots. See, there's no base here. And does he want to go into the main? Ah, Zealot sees him coming in, takes him down. He says, an imposter. An imposter is trying to kill us. Well, maybe not. Trying to scout us at the very least. Creep spread is kind of good. Kind of impressed by this creep spread by LØAD. Yeah, roaches against Zealots. And that number especially going to go just fine. Now, again, Infestation Pit would be incredible here from LØAD. I don't see it. I don't see a fourth base from him. He doesn't know about this still. He hasn't looked. It's not that it's being kept from him. He hasn't even sent a changeling over there in that general direction to see. Let alone an Overseer, let alone an Overlord, let alone a Zergling, or I don't know. Sending a Hydra over there wouldn't be too bad. Here's a better changeling. Look at this guy. He's so hard to kill. He's going to get a drone kill and a scout off. I mean, he can get much information. He sees the Hydras. He sees the double Evo chamber, which have been used for pretty good upgrades here. 1-1 on the Hydras and the Roaches. On the other side of it, the Protoss MackWinston is sitting at a 1-1 as well. No further upgrades from him quite yet. Fourth base finally coming in top side from LØAD, but it is late. You're at 12 minutes into this thing in a 1v1 and you don't have a fourth base yet? Are you insane? There's the Infestation Pit. There's Mac on the move out. Charge lots, Stalkers, 3 Colossus, 3 High Templar, 2 Immortals in case there's a lot of Roaches. And then some charge lots. And look at this army value, 75 to 63. Mac is able to get to a much bigger army because LØAD got a fourth base too late. He's just not there. He doesn't have the tier 3. He doesn't have any Vipers. He doesn't have the ability to make anything like even Ultralisks here. He's got the Lurkers, which are nice, but man, this fourth base, man. Is that GG? This fourth base dies. I just don't. Yeah, there's the cancel. There's the cancel. That might be your GG moment, folks, here at 13 minutes. I don't see how LØAD can make this thing happen, Captain. Yeah, getting a new fourth base at 13:30 when Mac's been on 3 bases forever. He could probably get a fourth base now if he wanted, or take this base. LØAD is not moving out on the map right now. He's got his Lurkers burrowed in. He's got a Hive on the way. Fleet Beacon coming in. Mac says, well, if there's going to be Lurkers on the map, might as well get carriers. That's a good answer to him. And he's not wrong about that. I think a lot of professional Protoss players will go carriers in this matchup if they're dealing with Lurkers, because that's it. Lurkers can't shoot up. Done. They're out. They're out of the equation. They don't take as long to kill as things like Ultralisks either. Carriers, surprisingly not a great answer to Ultras, just because Ultras are fast and they have a ton of armor. But the Lurkers aren't very fast. They're stationary most of the time. I don't know what the Zealot run by. I mean, the Zealot run by is intended to get in here and kill some drones. Maybe a Queen or 2 as well. Yeah, there you go. Oh, good Queen positioning. Look at that guy bouncing around the outside. Tacking on in, just sending Zealots in willy-nilly. Some of them kind of meeting the main army and getting evaporated. Couple of them getting in on these drones here, though. Oh, gosh, that is so good. How many drones? 24 drones have died. It is 46 remaining from LØAD. He was like at 68 or 70 a second ago. And then just a little bit of zealot pressure, and bam! LØAD's economy is in the toilet. 45 workers at 14 minutes from Zerg is horrible. Mac should have expanded a couple times by now himself, to be honest. He's really helping LØAD stay in this thing by not taking another base. I don't know if he doesn't like want to invite an attack when he doesn't have carriers yet. I don't know. Immortals, obs, more immortals, more obs, more zealots. Mac is now down 128 to 83 army supply. LØAD getting big here. A lot of hydras, a lot of lurkers, a lot of roaches. Problem is, a lot of these things die terribly to Colossus and immortals and Psystorm. There's a good answer here for all of those things. Creep spread, again. I'm highly impressed by LØAD's creep spread here today. It has been truly fantastic. Carrier production has begun. Ooh, we do get Vipers. Now, this is a thing. Lower level Zerg players are not as incentivized to get spellcasters as lower level Protoss players are. Protoss players will kind of die without things like Psystorm and Colossus, whereas Zerg players can kind of get away with winning up until Diamond without having any spellcasters at all. No Infestors, no Vipers, you can do it. So we don't see a lot of players at those leagues going for the spellcasters because it's just not a required thing like it is for TOS. However, this guy today, he's in probably Diamond. He is getting Vipers. We'll see if he uses them effectively. Abducting a Colossus or two is always a nice use. Abducting a carrier into a ball of like anti-air Hydra stuff is also very, very good. And yeah, everything's looking pretty good for Mac. I mean, yeah, there's another base down here now from LØAD, but again, not saturating it. And there's a base up here that's coming up that's not even done. So yeah, Mac casually 4 base in, LØAD 4 base in, 58 to 53 workers. LØAD is up, but not by enough. I love this Pylon over here. Just having the most wonderful experience. Upgrades from LØAD are good too. He's got +2 missile attack, +1 armor, or +2 armor, +2 attack, and +1 armor. For Mac is, I think, what I was looking at there. But Seismic Spines? He's got Adaptive Oh my gosh, he's not getting Seismic Spines. He knows about Adaptive Talons. Oh boy, he's not getting the range upgrade for the Lurkers. I don't know if that's going to help against a carrier fleet, but, you know, there's a pretty sizable ground army here, and Lurkers that have extra range are going to be really good. Man, I've been talking up LØAD on a lot of things here today, but that hurts immensely. And then this base dies again. Just got to poke in. There's no vision. At least there's not enough over here for LØAD to recognize there's an army in that position and move to try to intercept it. Just not happening. Zealots heading out across the map. Is going for lunge. Oh, and he's getting Seismic Spines. Okay, good. So he's getting lunge and Seismic Spines. 61 workers now. He's still not back to where he was at 12 minutes. This guy was at 68 workers at 12 minutes. And now he's at 61 because of just that simple 25 drones killed situation. Man, Lurkers are so good against Zealots. Look at this micro, too. Doesn't lose a single unit there. Okay, this base dies again. LØAD needs to stop trying to take it. Okay, Lurkers. Man, if they have Seismic Spines. But you know what? It does nice abducts on the... Okay, the Obs and the Void Ray. Not bad targets when you got a lot of Lurkers on the ground. Yeah. I mean, I guess he didn't really need Seismic Spines there because he handled that pretty effectively, MackWinston. Maybe we can expand again. This creep spread pushing down here and kind of pushing around this area is very scary for Mac. It's so scary to try to expand to a position where your enemy has creep. That is just the worst. If he could, I mean, if he was paying attention, he could expand creep here, expand it up this way a little bit. Expand this further this way. Maybe try to cover this base as well. Then abduct on a Tempest. And does get it. I think he attacked his own creep tumor there by accident, which totally sucks. I understand that happens to everybody. That happens to me as well, attacking the gosh darn wrong thing. So this is a giant, giant maxed out Zerg army charging into this 4th base of MackWinston's. He's going to get it. Holy crap. Okay. Maybe just pull out. Yeah, just go back. Maybe walk into my Lurkers, guys. Have a great time with that. Abducting a Colossus into the Lurkers. The Tempest is not escape. Again, he's doing a good job killing the stuff. Look at these Lurkers getting hit by Psystorm and Immortals. The Lurkers all do get cleaned out. Psystorm or Immortals, a good combo there. I see sometimes in my Discord server people saying, like, you can't do anything about lurkers when you're Protoss. You just die. It's like, I mean, I don't know. That didn't look like the entire Protoss army died at all, did it? I mean, Tempest probably helped there a little bit. It's like one carrier. Sure, that helps. But the Immortals and I think the Storm did more than anything else. So yeah, that was great by LØAD. That was really good. He lost some lurkers, but didn't lose the core of his army here. And if he didn't have Vipers, this army would just straight up die to what MackWinston is playing with. So good man, having some Vipers, having some Abducts, having some lurkers. Again, creep spread up this way would be incredible. He's completely forgotten that he has this queen down here. He could be spreading creep like crazy. She's got just about full energy. Like tumor, 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 tumor. And everything would die there. +3 ground attack for Mac. A little bit late in the game, but he's kind of trying to go for air weapons and stuff too. So it's understandable. Yeah, this creep tumor needs to go here, and this creep tumor needs to go here, and then I'll feel better about things. But as it stands, I mean, I guess at this point it doesn't really... Well, he could have delayed, right? These tumors would have died anyway, but he would have delayed this Nexus coming down. He's like, oh, right. I did have creep I was spreading down this way, huh? Tectonic destabilizers coming in. LØAD is getting a Rich Vespene gas base. Nice. So 7th base here. We've got creep tumors and sunkens and spines and lurkers here. So Max says, I'm going to replace the 4th and take a 5th base. How do you like them apples? And LØAD says, I don't think I like it very much at all. Mr. MackWinston getting a +3 ground armor, which doesn't help a lot against things like Immortals and Archons, but fairly helpful against these Zealots, which again, these Zealots charging on to creep. You know the Zerg player can see that, right? Not that he's been incredibly on top of attacks onto his creep so far. Oh, look, he's spreading creep again. Ooh, he's taking this base, which means this creep tumor would be so much more useful there. He feedbacks the queen. That's just practicing. There was no reason to feedback that queen. She was going to die anyway. But I do enjoy a feedback or two in my casting. So, hey, we'll take it. Obs dies again. Another Obs in the army for Mac. Always have a backup Obs when you're fighting a Zerg player especially. Because if they got lurkers and you can't detect them, you just sort of die. That's the one time you die to lurkers. If you don't have detection, sure, you're dead. It's like DTs. You don't have detection against DTs, you also die. You got your own permacloaked unit. Protoss, don't complain about lurkers that much. Once again, heading up and just being like, this base is fairly woefully undefended. Let's take it down. We're going to recall on top of that thing. Army's like, whoa, Max says. Yeah, another Nexus dies. Probes get chased out of, or recalled out of there. Some of them died. 15 probes have died so far in the game, and he unburrows the lurkers the time he gets out of them. Max says, do we counterattack? What do you say we counterattack? What do you say we try to kill a base in revenge for our base going down? Tectonic Stabilizers is done. These Tempests, and by that I mean there's like a Tempest on the map right now. Yeah, he's got one Tempest. Nexus down. Abducting Colossus. Okay, get another one. Get another. Oh, feedback on the Viper. Good. Good feedback. That's how you counter Vipers, Protoss. Feedback them. I don't know how you prevent feedbacks if you're a Zerg. That's the tricky thing about feedback, is that it's really good. It has a crazy good range, too. Okay, so all this creep dies. This base explodes. Top left base comes in from LØAD. 51 workers still. He just will not get up to that 60 worker count that he probably needs. That said, the guy's got a bank. He's maxed out. He's being really patient. I do appreciate that he's willing to go in and kill a base and then not be like, well, I guess I'm winning from here, and then attack into the entire army. Okay. Ooh, nice cancel timing by Mac. That's not easy. Remember when I was like, I felt good about him not deciding he can just win the game? He kind of feels like he's checking to see if he can win the game right now. Yeah, no, he's fallen back, kiting. This is some of the best kiting I've ever seen against Storm. Ah, big engagement. That side Storm is obliterating those Hydras. The Colossus are doing it too. It's a largely Hydra comp here. And that's not what you want to see. That is not what you want to see as a Zerg player whatsoever. You have a lot. He's making 35 more Hydras. Never mind. He's decided that's exactly what he wants to see is a million Hydralisks against a 4 Colossus army when they have +3 attack and range. No, not exactly a recommended course of action from the Falcon Paladin. So let's see what LØAD is going to try to do here. I like this low ground to high ground harassment. The interceptors are kind of getting sniped out by these Hydras, but that hatchery is dead. Yeah, I mean, at this point, honestly, he needs Corruptors, like, really bad. Does he need Corruptors? I guess Mac just warped in a bunch of Stalkers, but I was like, there is hardly any anti-air here. Carriers are terrible against Corruptors. Immortals and Colossus can't help. There's 1 Tempest. Obviously very bad against Corruptors, too. So he's throwing down double Spire. He's like, you know, you're right, Falcon. Maybe a couple Corruptors wouldn't hurt anything. Another base is going to die. I've never seen a more patient Zerg player than this guy, LØAD. He just walks in, snipes out a Nexus, gets a couple gateways, and gets out of there. Yeah, he's like, I'll kill interceptors. I don't care. I have a billion Hydralisks. And these Lurker Spines are keeping you away for the most part here. This is not too bad. Max supply blocked now, not a ton, but, you know, 184 out of 180 is not a great place to be. Going to retake the base because Mac is a good player, and good players retake their bases as soon as it's safe to do so after they've died. Not bothering with his top left third because it's pretty well mined out anyway. Not going to worry about it too much. Yeah, this top left base. Doesn't Mac know about this? He doesn't know these bases are back at all. Max killed this base like 17 times. And he hasn't checked for it in the last like 8 or 9 minutes because he doesn't know that it's there. It has been there for a while now. Does he not have a okay, I was going to say, does he not have a detection? Yeah, he does. He does, but he's sitting on creep, which is dangerous. Is he trying to just win this thing with Hydras? Not against the Storm and the Colossus, you're not. Vipers, maybe with a little bit of abduct power, especially on those Colossus. Maybe abducting a High Templar would also be very cool. Good. Storm dodge. The dodge back here from LØAD. He is anticipating those storms about as well as you can. That's hard to do. Really difficult to do. Alright, well, these drones are being shipped off somewhere else. I guess they're going to take the Rich Vespine Geyser base. Big fan of that here at 27 minutes. Taking that base is a wonderful experience for everyone. The Colossus, the 3 attack, as I mentioned previously. The Sky Toss is only at +1 attack, intriguingly. And he's getting further upgrades for armor for them, but not worrying about their attack at all, which I do. I guess if you're expecting Colossus to show up at some point, then armor is more important than attack for the Sky Stuff anyway. But that said, no, we don't have any Corruptors. This might be a situation where LØAD just kind of goes in there, throws his army away, and then remaxes on like 27 Corruptors. And just kind of tries to win. Abducts! Oh, doesn't get... There you go. Gets a Colossus. I was going to say, doesn't get the Colossus, does get the Carrier. Yeah, man, this is what abducts were for. It just was. Yeah, double abducting, making sure they die. 152 to 133 armor supply. Oh, LØAD is looking okay. And again, extraordinarily patient. Resources lost, 26,000 for Mac and 18,000 for LØAD. That is the most reverse, lopsided resources lost number I've seen in a PvZ in a long time. And it's just because LØAD's insanely patient. He doesn't try to face smash his way into this. This is hard to destroy just by A-moving onto it. That's why it's a composition. There are any compositions that are easy to A-move onto, they don't really exist. They're not good enough for StarCraft. Maybe at the lower levels, yeah, but not so much here, not so much anything higher than this either. Great lurker positioning. Just, okay, abduct, 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 abduct. Nothing really done. There you go. The second abduct gets the job done. 124 to 116 army supply. Abducting another carrier over here. Doesn't even try to run. It gets double abducted. Double abducts are not as efficient with the energy, but if they get the job done, sure. I'm not going to complain too much about it. He needs to consume. He needs to gain energy off of this hatchery. It's got full hit points. What do you think it's here for? It's for you, Vipers. You don't need that many hit points. It's going to be killed by the Protoss army when it shows up anyway. Might as well take all the energy off of it if you can, all the HP converted into energy that you can. Does Mac still not know about this? He still doesn't know about this. Well, he knows there are spines here, which when there's smoke, there's fire. And when there are spines, there is a base, historically. It'd be weird to have spines right here and nothing behind it. Doesn't mean you can't do it, I suppose. You could if you wanted. Still not going into corruptors at all. I lied. He's making a corruptor. He decided to prove me wrong by making a corruptor. I like how this base and this base are pretty well untouched. Spines, man. Even against really well upgraded zealots, like +3 attack zealots, spines are still going to do pretty well. Dude, burrowing lurkers down here, so mean. Okay, this is the first time he's tried to kill a base when the army's at it. He decides, no, let's not. You know, maybe let's poke in a little bit. See if Mac wants to save it. I don't think Mac wants to save it. Mac's heading out. Mac says, no, I've got better things to do than save this Nexus. Let's let another one die. And Mac says, base race? They say never base race a Terran, but there's no Terran here. And Rich Vespian Geyser base dies for both players about simultaneously. MackWinston is going for it now. Now, the major benefit that Protoss have when base racing is they can recall home. They can come over here, they can kill your main base, and if they get trapped in a position they can't escape, they recall out of it. Oh, these guys got stuck behind the minerals. No, it would have been so nice to have them. See, watch. Here's what he's going to do. He's going to come in the main base, he's going to kill everything, and then the army's going to be like, you can't leave this base now. This ramp is terrible to come down, and then Max says, I'll just recall out, stupid. And he will. So, yeah, he's remaking a lurker den somewhere else, remaking a lair somewhere else. This is a pretty good, honestly, pretty great Zerg player, and Mac is not technically recalling out of here. Feel like he should. There it is. Oh, he leaves a couple of mortals back. That's not cheap, man. Resources lost 39 to 28,000. Where Mac has more. He continues to have higher resources lost here, and it makes a lot of sense why. LØAD is refusing to just move into the Protoss army and lose everything. He's not going to do it. 175 to 144 supply. MackWinston has this base. I don't think he can defend it at this point. Wouldn't wait to 91 supply. Stalkers, Colossus, 4 Immortals remain. That just goes to show how many Immortals there were at the beginning, right? Right. LØAD, getting a new spawning pool, making a lurker den. He doesn't have a Hydra den, so the lurker den's not helping him very much right now is my point. Hatch at the right side, dead. LØAD. Storm, Colossus down, Tempest down. There's no splash damage in this army anymore. I kind of feel like this is crushable, especially if you've got a couple lurkers involved. More lurkers, taking his wounded hydras. I think he's doing this on purpose too, taking wounded hydras and turning them into lurkers because they get all their HP back. Same thing with changing corruptors into broodlords. You get all that HP back. If a corruptor's at 1 hit point and you broodlord it, boom, instant heal, really nice. Not maybe instant, but pretty fast when you get right down to it. Mac, 11 swarm hosts. Dude, there is no splash damage for this army of Max, and I'm getting very concerned about this. Yeah, man, if this is a win for LØAD, I'm going to attribute it to his patience, his abducts, which have been seriously impressive, and his just ability to kind of sneak around, kill a base, and then not overextend. Every Zerg player I've ever cast at this level, I feel like overextends constantly. I do it. It's just the nature of Zerg. Your army's fast, they hit hard. You're like, oh man, this base wasn't even defended. Let's go to the natural. Rah! Then you get caught in there and everything dies, and you're like, stupid overpowered Protoss. They suck. See, remember when I was like, you should probably just have taken all the energy off of that? Yeah, that hatchery, because it was going to die anyway. Using Locust on defense is terrible. Do not use Locust on defense. You know what the defense to that is from the army of MackWinston? Run away. It's really not hard. It's really not hard. Like, if you're gonna do locusts, launch them here. If they run away, a Nexus dies. Launch them here. If they run away, another Nexus dies. Launching them defensively is just the waste of Swarmhost, man. Biggest waste. I think LØAD's got this game. His bank is ginormous. Max has nothing. No bank at all. He's still not making any splash damage. He's got a couple High Templar. Not nothing. See, look. Launch here, and this base dies if he runs. Launch it. Launch it. Yes. He's going to storm it. Yeah, there we go. So then your answer for the Protoss is storm it. Oh my gosh, they're getting some good, good hits off. Okay, Zealots evaporating. Army value 116 to 60. LØAD's micro today is bananas. He doesn't have 800 APM. Nice feedbacks, though. Okay, he has an average of 331 APM. Never mind. He might be outclassing Mac just in sheer APM and decision-making and micro ability, which is, you know, tied to APM. Yeah. I mean, no real shame here, I don't think, for Mac to lose to a player like this. Again, 330 average APM. That's like professional level APM, man. It's not Raynor, who's incredibly fast. It's not Cyril. It's not, you know, Maru necessarily, but, or Clem. But it is a lot of people that have 300 APM and are very viable professional players. Yeah, I mean, Mac's going to try to base race up here, but he's got so many bases to kill. He loses another Nexus. He loses another Nexus. GG, etc. says LØAD. Little offensive GG, but kind of questioning, so it's not crazy bad manner, I guess. Max says, I'm a base race you. Hey, the one Corruptor died. I think that Corruptor make was accidental. I bet it was. Dude, the abducts today on these Tempests. I mean, yeah, it's a base race, but do you see how there's one base remaining for Mac and there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases left for LØAD? That's one of the most important things in a base race, is you gotta make sure your enemy has way more buildings to get to before they win than you do. If Mac wins this thing because he manages to like throw a pylon down somewhere, he's got enough money to build a pylon. Of course, all of his probes are leading the charge into things like spines and queens, and they're all dying terribly. They're kind of tanking some of this damage that otherwise the Protoss army would be, which is sort of awesome. Structures? Yeah, you'll notice that LØAD is still producing stuff. And Mac is not. So Mac's got a pylon here. And it's being revealed because he lost all of his Nexuses. He's got more. How did he get? Did he cancel some? How did he get more minerals there? That's weird. And there's your GG. I like that LØAD just leaves this pylon. He's like, you know what? If I come back and kill this army, it feels a little bit better. Max says GG, but then doesn't leave the game. I guess LØAD, bad-mannered. And so Max doing a little bad manner himself in response. Oh, that's it. Max gone. He says GG, then he's out of it. Dude, yeah. I mean, look, APM I think was most important here. 321 on average to 138 is bonkers at this level. Also, the resources lost is a number you don't see at all in PvZ. 65,000 lost for Mac and 43 for LØAD. More than 20,000 more resources lost for Mac than LØAD today. That's crazy. I like that he lost a single Swarm Host. Those Swarm Hosts, despite being on the front lines of many battles, never actually died, which is weird. But great abducts. Honestly, usually Mac plays against Zerg players at this level that don't know how to abduct. And then this whole Carrier Colossus Immortal Stalker Ball just kind of wrecks the Zerg and they die. But LØAD, he's using Consume, he's abducting, he's double abducting if he needs to make sure he gets the kill on the things like the Carriers and the Colossus and the Tempest. And the Void Rays also got hit there too. But dude, 9 Nexuses died today. I guess 13, 14, 15 bases died for the Zerg as well. That's a lot of just destruction on both sides of it. Only 53 drones and only 80 probes died today. Usually, If you have that many Nexuses and that many hatcheries dead, it's a much, much bigger deal on the long term. So, man. What a fantastic showing there, man. That is a great game from LØAD. Again, hats off to MackWinston for sending in a loss, though. That's some impressive stuff. Not many people will do that, but if you're sending one in every month, you might as well sprinkle in a loss there every once in a while. That's not going to hurt your ego too much, right? Anywho, end of the day, we're looking at a pretty fantastic showing from LØAD, and Mac just getting outclassed. There's really no shame in that. That happens sometimes. You ladder, you run into someone who's just better than you. It happens. I don't know if LØAD is smurfing here. I don't know if he's doing like a bronze to GM kind of a thing and just running roughshod over everybody he matches up against, and Mac was just the 5th one today. But good game. Took him to 38 minutes. Had a good composition. Just the abducts were good. The feedbacks were good. More feedbacks I think would have helped a lot there. And otherwise, just kind of a tough loss there. So GG, and that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. If you like what you saw and what you heard today, you can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Twitch, also on Instagram and TikTok and Blue Sky. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.